What's up, guys? Today I just wanted to hop on to this Eagles game from this past weekend. Didn't show anything from this game in the first video I made on Wildcard Weekend, but I thought that I could save this game for its own video, and it's really not the game; it's just the final drive that I really want to look at. And so I had a big problem with really it was one call in one play that kind of derailed the entirety of the drive. And just listening to Brady on the broadcast while this drive was going on, it just occurred to me right in real time of like, what the hell are the Eagles doing? And it's very subtle, but the Eagles get the ball, they start on their own 25 or wherever around there. Down four, Niners just went up, and they start moving the ball. They're throwing it around. They actually get stuck in fourth down, and Goddard here gets open, and it's all through the air, obviously. Goddard has a few catches on this drive, I believe, and Devontae Smith as well. But the Eagles are moving the football. Here we get to the 2-minute warning, and he hits Smitty over the middle on a little drag route, 10 yards. And, this is why my point may be misconstrued a little bit. But my point is going to be on a 1st and 10 that comes when they're inside the 25. And, a contradiction to what someone's rebuttal to what my point is maybe, oh, well, the Eagles are going right down the field throwing the ball on this drive. And that's true, but it's different in the NFL. These defenses in these situations, they're going to play soft zone coverage, especially defenses that aren't that confident in themselves. They play soft zone coverage, and they try and bunker down in the red zone and make the stop when it matters. So here again, they're playing that soft off coverage, and Smitty goes for 14 more. And this is the juncture in the game where Brady is saying on the broadcast, there's no rush here really for Philly. You don't want to go super slow, but we can take our time and start taking away some of this clock. As you can see here, the Niners have, I believe, 2 timeouts. This would go away here. Yes, Niners have 2 timeouts, but Philly has all 3 as they're getting to the line here. They're on the 21-yard line. And this is the call that wrecks the drive, realistically. For a team in Philly that is not great at throwing the ball consistently this year, and even though they're moving it on this drive, the Niners playing this off-zone coverage, trying to take away the big play, and Philly, it hasn't been their strong suit. They're a run-first team, and this is the main call. The Eagles, they go fast, they get them to the line, and this is just where I thought it was a slam dunk. We should run the ball here. And we're in a situation where we got a minute 30 and we need to get 20 yards to take the lead. We have all 3 of our timeouts as well. Let me unfull screen this so I can. No, it's still not going to work. But we have 3 timeouts in a minute 30. We need a touchdown on this drive. We can't settle for 3. So we need 2.5 yards to play. And we have enough time with 3 timeouts, mixing in passing plays, obviously, and not just running the ball 8 times. But we got to get 2.5 yards to play for the next 8 plays. I would have loved a run on 1st down here from Philly. And instead, they hurry up to the line, and this play, man, they just run just a quick game play right into the Niners now tighter zone coverage because we're getting inside towards the red zone, and Hurts a sack for a 1-yard loss. And the clock's moving as well. So it just completely changes the drive. Now we got 2nd and 11, clock's moving. And even still you could run the ball here, but obviously it's we're probably not going to run the ball here in this situation. Now we're getting towards a minute. But the main problem I have is that 1st down call. I just think that they should have ran the ball. I have some friends that are Eagles fans. I brought this up to them and they totally agreed with me that they should have ran the ball probably on 1st down. And when you're a team that just struggles to throw the ball as the Eagles did throughout the season, especially as of late in the season, 17 yards in the second half against, I don't think a completion in the second half against Buffalo. They struggle to throw the ball, and then you get to the second down play call, and now now we got 55 seconds, and Hurts, just another short route play, nothing's open. The Niners starting to bunker down in the red zone now, or just outside the red zone. And now it just the whole complexion of the drive is just completely different, even on 2nd and 11, and now it's 3rd and 11. Like, we need to gain yards in this offense. The Philadelphia is not. They haven't been good throwing the ball. I mean, I've said it already this video 3 times. They haven't been good throwing the ball. They needed to stay ahead of the sticks here, and it kind of felt like they panicked a little bit. And, now you're 48 seconds, 3rd and 11. And it's just, I feel like they panicked in this spot, surprisingly, in the big moment. And now they find themselves behind the sticks. Not an offense that does well behind the sticks. And, it's incomplete. They throw that in-breaking route to Smith, and I believe the ball just sails on Hurts a little bit here. Just sails on him a little bit. Smith could have caught a big hit. If he tucks it in, he could have maybe made the catch, but... And now it's 4th and 11, and they, of course, we all know they ran just 4 verts on 4th and 11. But these are the little things, man. And when you're a team that relies on your run game more than your pass game, and you find yourself in a position like that, a minute 30, the clock was moving, a minute 30, a minute 35. I just felt that they should have ran the ball to try and stay ahead of the sticks. And the biggest thing, well, not the biggest thing, but something I thought of in the moment was if the 49ers were in that situation and they had 1st and 10 with all 3 timeouts in a minute 30, what would their play call would have been? And if just the situation was flipped and the Niners were going in, they had to score. And I would put, I would bet a pretty solid percentage that they would have ran some sort of outside zone play with McCaffrey in that scenario and tried to stay ahead of the sticks. And granted, they are a better offense, so they may have just easily just not done that and, continued airing it out. And maybe I wouldn't look so, downly upon that since it's the Niners offense versus the Eagles offense. But, I just think they should have ran the ball on 1st and 10. I think it would have given them a much higher percentage to convert and win and score and win the game. And also just clock management wise, it just makes perfect sense to run the ball. Like, what if you run the ball and you gain 10 yards? Like, now the Niners are starting to think about using their timeouts to conserve the clock. And it just, or let's say you get 9 yards. Now you got 2nd and 1 at the 12. It just completely changes the complexion of the game. And it puts the Niners more on edge. You threaten the run game in that scenario. I just think it would have been a much better course of action to take to finish this game if Philly ran the ball on that 1st down. But they didn't, and I guess the Eagles actually ended up taking time out there. The play clock was down to 2 or 1, and then it's crazy. They take a timeout. Let's get our best play, and it's just it's just 4 verts. Just motion Brown out and run vertical routes and try and fit one in, and it's just no chance. But just a quick breakdown on that. I thought that was a bad decision by Philly.